Hi, good evening, everyone. This is JP Tong. I'm now at Kechara Forest Retreat, and welcome to today's Thursday Paranormal Tales. How is everyone doing today? Before I start sharing with you all my paranormal experiences, we shall wait a few seconds for the rest of you to tune in. Sharing with you all. Whoops. Harimuchi, Tashidele. Hi, Judy. Hi, Christina. Wow, Christina, you're right on time. She has that ghost icon, that emoji con. Hello. Yeah, we'll wait for a few more seconds for more people to tune in, and then I will start sharing. So today, if you can see the title, I'll be sharing with you some of the experiences I've had witnessing spirit possessions, as in people who are possessed. So my experience of them, and at the same time, I will share with you more of my other paranormal experiences throughout these years. Okay? Hi, Sharon. Good evening. Hello, Sunny. Hi, Nancy. You're not scared, Nancy? Hi, Corrine. Hi, Doreen. Yeah, so how was everyone's day today? It's raining here in Bentong. It's been raining almost all day. So I guess it's nice. Yeah. And today I had a very good morning session of meditation. So for those of you who would like to learn meditation, we're now already on the 25-minute threshold. So you can join me every morning, 8:30 a.m. Malaysian time. Hi, Pastor David. Hi, Jace. Pastor Antoinette. Hi, Caldwell. Okay. Morning face. Is it different? I think it's the lighting. Don't worry. There's no spirit in me right now, so don't worry. Yeah, I think it's the lighting. I have this light shining this side, so I look different. Hi, Christina. Hi, Alex. Thank you for tuning in, Alex. Alex is my friend, longtime friend, whom I used to sing in an a cappella group. So, thank you for tuning in. Hi, Martin. Hello. Okay, so I think we can start. Yeah. Hi, Vivacella. Oh, a lot of the people with meditation, who joins me every morning for meditation, is actually here this evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hi, Batu. Hello. Yeah. So today I will be sharing with you the possession. So the first person that I had an experience with a possession was actually this Malay friend of mine, and this happened in Malaysia. This was when this is right before I met Rinpoche. Right before I met Kechara, and I have always heard that this friend of mine has spirit possessions, and he would tell me, and the family would tell me, that once the spirit comes, he will be slithering on the floor like a snake. And at that time, I have no idea what that was all about. And I was told that when the spirit possesses him, he will look like a snake, and his tongue will be very long, and it will come out. And I wasn't scared. I was like, oh, that's cool, So I told him, I would love to see you possess one of these days. So that's silly me. So then one day, I remember I went to visit him in his apartment, and we were just chit-chatting, and I said something just to tease him, and all of a sudden he stood up, and his eyes were like really angry, and he stared at me on his hand like this, and he went, what did he say? He was just screaming and shouting at me. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, hey, it was only a joke. So, and he was crying like, "Wah," like really crying hysterically. And then after that, he was laughing hysterically. And he was crying again, and he was laughing again. And I was shocked because I thought, hey, what happened? I thought he had a psychological, like a nervous breakdown. That's what I thought. And then after that, he was on his knees, like this, and he was pounding the floor, and he was crying and crying. And then after that, he was like, aha, and then he was laughing hysterically. I thought it was really weird. So then his housemates came out and pinned him down. And as they pinned him down, he's like, JP, what happened? I said, I don't know. I was just teasing him, and all of a sudden he went hysterical. And he said, he's possessed. And I was like, possessed? He didn't look possessed because, when we watch movies, when someone is possessed, either their eyeballs turn like pitch black or it goes white. He didn't look possessed to me. So I was not very convinced. So I just sat on the floor in the corner, and they were trying to pin him down because he was just going crazy, like pounding and crying and pounding and laughing and all that. So, and at that time, I remember I just joined Kechara not long ago, and there was only one prayer, one Buddhist prayer that I knew how to chant, and it was the Lama Tsongkhapa prayer. And because we had I think it was like a 20 million marathon of recitation, so that was the only prayer I knew. So I said, okay, well, if that's the only prayer I knew, then I might as well do a prayer. So I sat in the corner like that, and I prayed in my heart. I didn't even move my lips, and I was just reciting the mantra in my heart. Since they claim that he's possessed, then why not? So I was doing my prayers in my heart, and all of a sudden, can you imagine two guys pinning him down, and he could actually jump up? It was incredible. He could actually jump up, and the two guys like fell over, and he's pointed at me, and he said, "You stop chanting now!" He screamed at me. I was shocked. He's like, "If you don't stop chanting now, I'm going to jump out of the balcony," because he was in an apartment. So I was shocked because I knew it was impossible that he would have known that I was reciting a prayer in my heart, because my lips were not moving. And I was so convinced that he was possessed, because there's no way. And when he looked at me, it was all watery and bloodshot, but it was so angry and fierce, and which I've never seen that in my friend before. And the two housemates freaked out, and they said, "JP, get out of here already, you're making the situation worse." So I felt so bad, so I packed up and I walked out. And that's the first time that I experienced a spirit disturbance. So and I realized that it's not like in the movies where the iris turns like totally black like that. It doesn't. And it doesn't flip up where you only see the white. It doesn't. The person looks normal, except that it's a different person. Yeah, so that was my first experience. And then after that, when I experienced that, then I learned that in Kechara there is this talisman. It's called a chakra. And I was told that there's this one particular chakra called Yamantaka. It's a tantric deity, is a tantric Buddha, and it's supposed to ward off many types of spirits. I was like, yay, I'm going to get this for my Malay friend. Oops. Yes, I did. I wasn't trying to convert him. I did. He was okay. Okay, so anything to help my dear friend. I wasn't trying to convert him, okay? So don't get me for that. So it was just out of kindness that I gave him that chakra to wear. So as soon as he wore it, he could feel a tingling sensation, he told me. And I also gave him a protector rice to eat. A protected rice is a rice where it is blessed. Okay, so it is consecrated, and when they eat it, it's supposed to bless his whole body. So I did that because I was told it's good for people who have these spirit disturbance. So he ate it, and he told me he felt this burning sensation as it went in. I said, "Oh, good. That means it's working, right?" So he wore it, and then after that, all was well. Then I visited him again a week later, and I noticed that he wasn't wearing it. I said, "Hey, what happened? What happened to your chakra?" He said he doesn't know because he said that his friend, the friend that enters him is a spirit, visited him, which means entered him, and then when he woke up, it was gone. And he said that my friend is very angry at you, very, very angry. I said, "Oh, why?" Because you gave me this talisman to protect me. I said, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, whatever." Then, but you see, at that time, I was still very sensitive to spirits, and I could feel him coming. As my friend was talking about him, I think it triggered him to come and visit, and I could feel him coming. So he said he's very angry, and but he didn't say much. So after I visited him, I went back home, and I could feel that angry spirit. It was a male. It was an old man. I remember. He was following me back to my house, and I didn't think twice about it. But I could feel his anger, like he wanted to beat me up. So I parked my car in my house, and I walked into my room, and he came through my windows. Yeah. So spirits not necessarily have to enter our main door. They can come through windows and anywhere they like. So he came through the windows, and my dogs downstairs were just wailing, were just going crazy already. So as soon as I walked into my bedroom, he flew right in, and he stood there. And I stood at the door, and I was like, oh, because I could feel he wanted to just whack me big time. So I stood there in anticipation that he was going to beat me up. I just knew. So I stood there for the longest time, and he stood there for the longest time, and he didn't do anything. I was like, that's weird. Why did he stop there? Then I think I stood there for like a good 5 minutes at least. It's like just time stood still. So I was just waiting to see what he was doing. Then after that, he left. I was like, oh, that's weird. I thought he was going to beat me up. Then I was like, okay, whatever. So I did my thing, went to sleep, and then the following day, this friend of mine called, and he said, "Do you know that my friend followed you to your house?" And I said, "How do you know?" He said, "Because he came back and he told me." I said, "Okay." So I wasn't imagining, right? And he said that he wanted to hurt you. I said, "I know, I felt it." But he saw a holy monk behind you protecting you. I was like, "Really? A holy monk?" He's like, "Yep." He said he could not get you because there was a holy monk behind you protecting you. So then I was like, holy monk? Why do I have a holy monk? Is that my guardian angel? Because remember, I was doing energy healing, so I was into guardian angels and whatnot. And I was thinking, Then I remembered the week before, I took refuge with Rinpoche. And I remember that in one of the talks, it is said that if you take refuge with the three jewels, which is the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, Buddha as Buddha, Dharma as in Buddha's wisdom teachings, Sangha is the ordained community, the community of people who dedicate their lives to studying and practicing Buddhism. They are called Sangha. So when we take refuge in the three jewels, that's what we do. You will be protected. You will be protected. Even if you have spirit disturbances, you will be protected. So, and I remember that. I was like, oh, wow. So it is true. It is true. And I did tell my teacher, Tam Rinpoche, about it, and he said, "Oh, you should share this with everyone in the future, to tell people that that whatever you read in the scriptures is actually true." And that was my experience. Yeah. So for those of you who are Buddhists and you would like to take refuge, you'd like to take refuge in the Three Jewels, yes, it does help. So that was my personal experience with a friend who was possessed in front of me. So that was my first experience. Yeah. Do we have any questions before I continue? A couple? Okay. Let me see. Where? Let me see.
Maybe who asked, was it a grain of rice or cooked rice?
Oh, I don't see that. Strange. Okay, was it a grain of rice or was it cooked rice? In Kechara, we have grains of rice that we bless. So either the oracle takes trance of an enlightened being and bless it, or when we do prayers, we can bless it, or even monks and high lamas can do prayers and bless it. And it's extremely good for protection. And if you're very sick, you can actually put it in the water and you sip it, and you can do that. Yeah. So so it's very, very potent and it's very good. And we like to use it for cleansing the house. So we can burn incense, or you can burn sage or whatever, and you put 1 or 2 grains of this blessed rice into it, and it'll burn. And what it'll do is it'll release the blessings, and it'll push away all negativities out of your premises. So it's extremely good. That's strange. I don't see the. Oh, now I see it. Okay, I see it. Hi, Liho. Hi. How is Hong Kong? Thank you very much for tuning in. Liho loves paranormal stories. Hi, Elsie. Hi, Jeffrey. Long time no see. Hi, Jace. Hi, Adeline. Martin Yo. Paranormal Zone crew are here too. Okay. JP, do you still see them now that you're very in Sangha activities? Yes, once in a while I still see them. And once in a while they do come and visit me in my room. This is my bedroom here in Kechara Forest Retreat. So yes, and my bed is just right here. No, you don't have to do that. Yeah, we have the camera person here you want to see my bed? No. So yes. So, but you see, and I did ask Rinpoche. I said, "Hey, I said, Rinpoche, I'm doing all my prayers. I'm doing this. I'm doing my Dharma work and all that, and I'm in KFR. Why is it that I still see spirits here in my room? Here?" And Rinpoche said, "Did they hurt you?" "No." "Well, what were they doing? You're just there looking at me." And then that's it. So even though, because Rinpoches have a very strong karma, a very strong affinity to experience them, so it will still come back once in a while, but they will not be able to hurt me or in any way. Yeah, because of the prayers that I've been doing to purify my karma to experience attacks from spirits, which, remember, I said I used to have spirit disturbances and they come and squeeze my heart and all that. Yes, these are called psychic attacks. So I don't have that anymore. So once in a while I will see them, and once in a while they will press on me, where Westerners call it sleep paralysis, but there is a difference. Yeah, there is a difference. So yes, so that happens. Hi, Suzanne. Bad in Hong Kong. I missed many weeks. Oh, why is it bad in Hong Kong? That's a lockdown? Okay. Okay. Hi, Audrey. Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do we have any more questions? If not, I will continue. Oh, it's a long weekend? It's been a long month. It's not even a long weekend, Dr. Hank. Makes no difference to us here. Okay, so I will continue with my next possession story. Let me see what I have here. This was quite recent. This was just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, a friend of mine, she introduced me to her cousin. She said, "Oh, he's very depressed, and he just doesn't know how to get out of his depression." And I said, "Well," and he said, "Is it okay if he comes and visit you in Kechara Forest Retreat?" I said, "Sure." Ask him to come, and I'll meet up with him. And this friend of mine, she's Christian, but she's very open-minded. So anything goes as long as it works. So I said sure. I mean, no issues at all. But the cousin is a free thinker, and I think maybe a bit Taoist. So fine. So he came, and so he came with his father and the father's friend. And then he came into the temple called Wisdom Hall. So as he was coming in, and he was walking, I was giving him a tour. And as he approached Rinpoche's throne, these thrones are monk seats, raised seats for monks. He looked very disturbed, and he was going like this. He was like very disturbed, and he was just, in a way, freaking out a little bit. And he just walked. He just turned around and he walked out. I said, "Oh, is everything okay?" He said, "Oh, no. He was very embarrassed about it, and I didn't know. And I had my suspicion already. And he was like, "Oh no." He was looking down, and he said, "No, I just don't want anything to happen." And I knew exactly what he was talking about, because it was almost immediate that when he was right in front of my teacher's seat, there was a reaction. So I said, "Oh, it's okay." I said, "You and your friend, needs a blessing." He said, No, I do not want to scare you guys." I said, "Don't worry, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. But it'll be good for you and your friend." So he knew that I knew immediately that I was referring to the friend that is making him walk away, because the friend wanted to enter his body. I couldn't see it, but by looking at the reaction, I knew he had that problem. And it caught me by surprise, because my friend didn't tell me that the cousin had spirit disturbances. Yeah. So I said, "Okay, it's fine then," and he said, No, it's okay, no worries, and then he walked out. So then I took him out, and in Kechara Forest Retreat, we have a stupa. A stupa is a pagoda, but this one is called a Vajrayogini stupa. It is a tantric Buddha. It's a female tantric Buddha, and it's consecrated. So we have a gate as we enter the stupa grounds. So as he entered, I said, "Come, let me show you this stupa." I didn't say anything. Okay, so he entered with the father. I said, "It'd be very good for you to just circumambulate and receive a blessing. It'd be very good for you to calm your mind, and it'd be good to bless your friend." I said. So as soon as he entered, he walked a few steps in, and he ran out. He ran out of the gate, and all of a sudden, he took trance of the spirit, and he was howling away. I remember this video because it was just 2 years ago. And his hand was like this. How was it? Like this. Literally, his hand was like this. As I'm telling you, I'm getting goosebumps because he knows I'm talking about him. So he's like this, and he was on all fours, and he was howling like literally like. Arr, arr. I have never seen that in my life. And his eyes were just perfectly open like that, but he was just howling, and he was walking around on all four limbs. Walking around, and he stood out like that on his two hind legs, just like an animal. I couldn't figure out what animal it was, but I knew it was an animal spirit that entered him. And he was like, "Oh, like that, howling, almost like a wolf at that time. I was like, oh, is that a wolf? Or is it a dog? I couldn't figure it out. And he was howling and howling, and then he came to me. I was like within the gates, and his dad was next to me, and he was going like this to the dad. He was sniffing. And he came to me and he was sniffing. Like that. And see, it was at that moment that I was like, ooh, is he gonna like bite my neck off, you know? So that fear came up. I was like, ooh, I better take a few steps closer to the stupa. So he sniffed. Then after that, I was like, okay, it's too close for comfort because his face was right in front of me. Okay, right in front like that. Too close for comfort. So I took a few steps back, and in my mind, I was doing my mantras. I was doing my protective mantras, and I was also doing my teacher's mantra. And I was reciting, and I walked towards the stupa area. And as I walked next to the stupa, this guy was literally crawling towards the stupa like this. Okay, his hands were like that, and he was crawling. And once he was in front of the stupa, he did 3 prostrations, and he was kowtowing 3 times like that. And after he did that, he woke up. And he looked at me, he said, oh, I'm very sorry. I hope I didn't scare you. I said, no, it's okay. I said, I didn't know that you have this spirit disturbance. And he was very embarrassed. He said, oh, I'm so sorry. He was so apologetic. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it's okay. It's really, really okay. And only then that the father told me what happened. He said that his son, ever since he was young, had a lot of spirit disturbances, a lot, to a point that he was going through a lot of depression, and it affected him for many, many years. And he said that recently, just like a year or 2 ago, in his neighborhood, there was a Thai lady who had like some sort of like, she set up some sort of like a shrine, and called on the son because he was just walking around the neighborhood, and he said, hey, do you want to receive blessings for protection? And the son said, sure. So he went to the house, and she did some ritual to bless him. And he said, would you like some protection? And she said that she can do something so that he'll be protected. And he was like, sure, because he knew that he has spirit disturbances all his life. So he thought, okay, great, why not? Let's it'll be good to have some sort of protection. So apparently what she did was she invited what they called a white tiger. It's a spirit, and I was told later that, and I learned later that Thais like to invoke on the white tiger spirit to protect themselves. So she did that, and that's why the tiger spirit would enter him, having that motivation apparently to protect him. Yeah. So to me, that was a bit spooky, because why would you want to have an animal spirit enter you for protection? Yeah, I think that may be a local shamanistic practice in Thailand. Yeah, so, and I was told it's a common practice. And there's nothing that he could do to, and the father said that he has taken the son to other temples and they could not get rid of the spirit, because the spirit is latching on to the son, saying that he needs to protect the son. So that was my other experience, and I told my friend about it. I said, do you know that your cousin has a spirit disturbance? She's like, I have no idea. I said, that's why it's causing his depression, because his moods go up and down, up and down, up and down, and it becomes so bad that he cannot work at all. So he's not been working for 1.5, almost 2 years already, ever since he has this spirit disturbance. Yeah, we didn't do anything because he opted to have my friend, who's Christian, to do an exorcism on him using the Christian faith. Yeah, so I was told that the spirit is no longer disturbing him after a few attempts. But I've not checked on him recently, so I don't know whether or not it's back. I'm not sure. But the Buddhist method of doing exorcism is that there will be certain prayers that need to be done to purify the person's karma, so that even if the spirit is right next to him, the spirit can no longer enter him or disturb him. It is a longer process, but it is, to me, it's more effective. Yeah, there are other, I don't know how the Christians do it, I have no idea, so I cannot comment on that. But for Buddhists, we deal with the root cause. Yeah, that's why I can still see spirits, they still come and visit me, but they don't hurt me in any way, shape or form. And I see less of them nowadays. Yeah, so what do you think of that story? Doreen says, as you've been telling us now and you still feel them, are they okay with this? Okay with what?
You talking about them.
Can you tell me, can you explain? As you've been telling us now and you still feel them, are they okay with this? Oh, that I'm talking about them, is it? Well, they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. No, I think they're okay because I don't feel any anger. It's just that, you see, in the spirit realm, when you talk about them or when you think about them, they know. And they can come here instantly, the speed of thought. That's why the Chinese always say, don't talk about ghost stories like now. Because if you talk about it, they will come. Okay, they will come. So, yeah. But it's fine. Hi, Andrew. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hi, Elsie. Hi, JP. Just a personal question. Is it all right to learn light language? What do you mean by light language? Can you explain more, Elsie? Christina says, is it possible that something from a different dimension can appear in front of you in the form of a car while I was driving on the highway? It was coming on so fast, like a head-on the same lane as me, and I managed to pull my steering get enough to the next lane. But the minute I avoided the object that was heading towards me like a head-on, but it continued to drive on with an incredible speed. But when I looked up to the rear mirror, there was nothing behind, and it disappeared. I could feel the vibration when this thing drove past me. How possible is this? My hubby and my in-laws were in the car and all saw the car heading towards my car like head-on. I was actually driving myself to the airport. Yes, definitely. There can be paranormal experience whereby you see them as a car. Definitely. There's one very famous one in Karak Highway. Karak Highway, if you're coming from KL to Bentong, it's called Karak Highway. And there is a very famous yellow car, right?
Yellow beetle.
There's a yellow beetle. It's very famous, and apparently it haunts the highway. And if you see it, don't honk it. Don't try to take a look or whatever. If you see it, most likely it's that. I mean, how often do you see a yellow beetle, right?
And let it pass you.
Yeah. Apparently, just let it pass you. Just don't do anything. Yeah. Yeah. So it can come in the form of a car, definitely. Yeah, I've not seen it. I have not seen spirits coming in the form of a car. I've not. Yeah. So yes. So definitely, it can happen. Yeah, Christina. Colin says, your story really wowed me. I thought that KFR being such a holy land, spirits can still manifest inside. Of course, because these are spirits. I asked Rinpoche, why is it that the spirits can still come here? Because why? Because spirits, if they are benevolent spirits, that means they're not here to harm, but they are just wandering around. They can come here for blessings. Well, you see, the Buddhas bless all sentient beings. So what are sentient beings? Sentient beings are all the 6 realms. The worldly God realm, the demigod, human realm, animal realm, spirit realm, and the hell realm. So definitely. So spirits love to hang around holy objects because they can feel the energy of compassion, and it gives them a relief, a mental relief. That is why in Western countries, Westerners like to put Buddha statues in their garden for aesthetic reasons. And you ask them, why do you do that? And they say, oh, because it has a very calming and peaceful effect. You see, even the image of Buddha gives out that calming and peaceful effect because the image of a Buddha is a physical manifestation of the enlightened mind. So what is an enlightened mind? It's pure compassion, unconditional love. So definitely spirits who are in the energy realm or the spirit realm will actually feel that compassionate energy emitting towards them, and it gives them relief. That's why they like to hover around holy places like Kechara Forest Retreat. Definitely. Of course, if the malevolent ones come in, they cannot. They will be repelled. Malevolent spirits are spirits that have negative intentions to hurt others. Then they will not be allowed in this holy land. Definitely. Yeah, I hope that explains your question, Kok-Len. Hi, Li-Ho. So how can we protect ourselves? Well, since you are a member of Kechara and do your Dojo Shugden mantra. Just do that every day. And if you have strong faith of your teacher, Tenri Rinpoche, do his Guru mantra every day without fail. Don't do it only when you see spirits. All right? Because when we do it consistently every day, we actually purify these kind of karma for spirits to hurt us. Yeah, but if you, like for me, if I, because I do have a strong karma and affinity to see them, so yeah, I still see them like I see human beings, but they don't do anything to hurt me, which is good enough. It is good enough. Yeah, the only way that I can stop seeing them is if somebody did a ritual to close my third eye. Yeah, that's the only way. Yeah. Raps craze. Sorry, just a question. So if we think about spirits, we can unintentionally attract them? Yes. You know, how sometimes we think of our loved ones who have passed away. I'm not sure whether or not you've heard of encounters from your family members that, I just felt grandma and I was thinking of her and I felt her presence, or grandpa or mom, dad, even dog. Yeah. Yeah, even that. So they do come when you're thinking about them. They do. And you can feel the presence. Yeah, you can. So Christina Ng says, when someone depressed, are they more easily possessed by spirits? Yes. Any form of negative emotion, you see, if we, like people like me, who have a karmic affinity with spirits, I have to be very careful. I cannot hold on to my unhappiness for too long, or I cannot, or if I'm very angry. Because why? Because these negative feelings feed into the spirit's energy, and it becomes a portal for them to come and disturb us. All right? So even drinking alcohol. Yeah? So if you're depressed, that's why my Buddhist teacher always says, the more so I need to control my feelings. The more so. Because it will be a portal for them to get us. The peaceful ones won't really get us. It's just the ones with negative intentions. That's where they will come through. And they will amplify the unhappiness we feel or the anger we feel. So we have to be very, very careful. And that is why, sometimes you I don't know whether I don't know whether or not you experience it or any one of you experience it, but sometimes something happens and you feel very unhappy or like extremely unhappy, but you don't know why, but you just feel it, or you feel very angry. Okay, but it was a very small matter, but you just cannot control it. Okay, there are two reasons: either because you have an anger problem, or it's because you are influenced by a spirit, and you don't realize it, because spirits can amplify our negative emotional our negative emotions. It does happen. Yeah. Elsie, was told light language are healing tools and geometric shapes and colors. I would not do that, Elsie, because these are not proven. It's not been proven to work, so I would not. I did energy healing before I met Rinpoche and joined Kechara. So I did a lot of light, using light to heal and all that. And people say, oh yeah, it does work. They feel it does make a difference and all that. But if you are to use the light or whatever energies and symbols and all, and I did learn about certain symbols to do the healing symbols and protection symbols and all that. I would not meddle on that, because every time you give attention to spirits, you're actually creating the karma to connect to them. You're opening up the portal to the spirit realm every time you give them attention. Giving them attention means that, oh, what's up? What do you want? You're trying to communicate with them. You can acknowledge them, and okay, they're there, and do your prayers and bless them, and that's it. But don't do anything more than that. You see, why do I say that? Is because all this energy healing and all these are new age, and it doesn't have a proven track record that it works, because that may open up a bigger can of worms, which is what happened to me. Because if you talk to energy healers, they will say they are also learning from the ascended masters. So they're always communicating with the so-called ascended masters that they either see visually or they communicate via their meditation. But the issue is this: how does one tell whether or not these ascended masters are truly ascended masters and holy beings? There's no way that in our level we can confirm. Because why? There are many, many spirits out there that are very powerful, and they manifest in front of us as holy beings. And at our level, there's no way for us to check. So to be safe, don't communicate with them. If you choose to meditate, just focus on single-pointed meditation, and that's good enough. Yeah, so I would suggest not going that direction, because you don't know what you are meddling with. Yeah? Lee Ho says, how about young kids protect themselves? Well, ask them to recite mantras, or you can get them the protective string that we have in Kechara, or you can make them wear a Buddha's pendant, yeah, or just wear a chakra. It's good enough. Using, are there cases of possessions where you can't do anything for them? Definitely for possession cases, we should not do anything for them, because it will make the situation worse. It will. You don't even bless them. You don't even, now that I know better, you don't even give them anything holy to wear and all that, because you may irritate the spirit, and the spirit may attack further. So the best is to go to a whatever religion you're from. If you're Buddhist, go to a Buddhist temple who has a qualified teacher who knows how to do exorcism, and they'll be able to give you prayers to do. Prayers, yeah. For exorcism, it is known that the most powerful people, or the most effective people who can do all sorts of exorcism are Tibetan Buddhists. It's world renowned. The second most effective are the Mao Shan, masters they are from China. They're called Mao Shan. They're very, very effective. I think they originate in Sichuan somewhere. Yeah, magic in Sichuan is renowned. So you don't want to mess around with Sichuan people. Okay. So Tibetan Buddhism is world renowned. So they can exercise the toughest and the most powerful spirits out there. They can do that. Yeah. So, and I have seen how Rinpoche does an exorcism. I have seen that. I remember there was once this friend of mine. This is when I first joined Kechara, and my business partner one day met up with me for for drinks, and she was very, very late, and I wondered what happened. And she said that when she was parking her car, she reversed into a tree, and then after that, she was feeling like her head was spinning. I was like, "Oh, did you hit your head?" She's like, "No, it was just a light bump." Then after that, then I was talking to her, but she was acting a bit weird, like she was just very unsettled looking. And then I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "I don't know, just very unsettling," and her head gets spinning. Then she went to the bathroom and she stayed there for like 1 hour. So I was worried, and then I had a friend take her out, and I said, "What happened?" She said she doesn't know. She felt like she wanted to pass out, and she said that when she felt like she wanted to pass out, and she knew that something was not right, she decided to do the Kuan Yin prayers, Om Mani Padme Hum, because she prays to Kuan Yin, and then she was fine after that. So she said, "Do you see something behind me? Do you see something?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said that there's a dark shadow latching onto you. She was like, "Oh no." I said, "I have a feeling it's because you hit the tree. Most likely it was residing in the tree and you hit it and it's not happy and it's latching onto you." So I said, "Well, Rinpoche," because my teacher back then used to have talks once a week. So I said, "You know what? Next week when we go to Kechara, and if Rinpoche," because usually at the end of a talk, Rinpoche, we will all line up to receive blessings. I said, "Well, we can request for Rinpoche to give you a blessing and perhaps chase that thing away, because I couldn't get rid of it using my light energy." I said, "I'm not that strong. It wouldn't go away." So then, sure enough, the following week after the Dharma talk, then everybody was lining up for the blessings. So I said, "Okay, go, get a blessing," and she did. And I was not behind her. I was just talking to my other friends, and then all of a sudden, one of the assistants of Rinpoche asked me, "Hey, JP, please come here." I said, "Okay." So Rinpoche was calling me, so I went there, and Rinpoche said, "So, your friend told me that you asked her to come here because she has a spirit attached to her." I said, "Yes, I see a spirit attached to her," and I said, "And I do hope that Rinpoche can actually get rid of it for her." So Rinpoche said, "Yes, you are right. So I now will help you, and I will help your friend." So I thought Rinpoche was going to bring out his Vajra, his vows, his rituals, and do this ritual exorcism and go, "In the name of Buddha, get out." I thought it was going to be like this, and nothing. And what Rinpoche did was, see, let's say this is my friend. I'm here. Oh no, I was here, right next to Rinpoche. My friend was here. And Rinpoche was talking this way, across, like talking to the being standing behind my friend. And he was talking. And just saying, and I remember Rinpoche said, "You are suffering already where you are. So it will not make the situation better if you latch on to this lady who unintentionally, hit your tree. So, and Rinpoche was talking to him as though he was talking to another person. Just talking to him why it would be better for him to let go of her. And it was just like that. And then Rinpoche said good, and Rinpoche did a prayer and blew the prayers onto the rice grains and just threw it behind my friend's shoulder, just like that. Rinpoche was blessing the spirit, and then it was gone. And my friend was like, because she's a big fat chicken, she was like, watching the conversation going on, and I was having a good laugh. And I was very fascinated because because my expectation was this ritual, this fancy ritual and prayers and all that. Nothing at all. So I was like, whoa, this guy's good. And this monk is good. I first joined Kechara, so silly me. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. And my friend was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because after that, we went to have a drink, have supper. And we were like, two school kids comparing notes, like, wow, did you see that? I was like, yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow, it's so wonderful. And so on and so forth. And we were just so fascinated with how Rinpoche, as a monk, just spoke very compassionately to the spirit. And that was it. And the spirit just left. Yeah, and that's my experience of exorcism. Okay, so we have any more questions? Raves, craze. Yes, I have experienced that anger today, but I was lucky a colleague stopped me from sending out a very nasty email, and I'm not a person who easily gets angry. Thanks for bringing that up. Oh, you're most welcome, Rev. So yes, sometimes it is good to take time out, to just cool off. And learn to cool off, whatever helps. Because if you do have an affinity with spirits, that's where they get you. Yeah? That's where they get you. And also, I'm not sure if you have experienced this. There are many times when I stand in a balcony, a lot. If I stand next to a railing, I hear a voice saying, "Jump. Jump, jump," all the time. I thought that because I have a phobia of heights, that I'm actually hallucinating. So I forgot when. I think Rinpoche gave a talk, and Rinpoche mentioned about certain spirits who actually ask you to jump. And I said, oh yeah. I said, I've had it all my life. That's why I don't like hanging out at the balconies. Because I always hear a voice as a form of a thought going, jump, jump. I was like, no, jump, jump. And that is why, sometimes you hear people, or you hear stories that so-and-so just jumped out of a balcony. Because I feel that, and there were no signs of depression, nothing. And it was a total shock. I feel sometimes it's because of the influence of the spirits. Okay, I don't have concrete evidence, but I feel that there are possibilities because I always hear that voice, jump, jump, jump. Okay, so I thought I'd just add that. Yeah. Oh, time is almost up, Christina. What time is it? 5 more minutes. Yeah. So, Christina, it was said 2 headlights coming so fast towards my car on my lane. Could this thing was actually looking for replacement with a car having 4 people in it for their ugly death? Could it be my energy was very strong at that time? It didn't manage to harm any one of us in the car. I don't know about that, Christina, but whatever it is, it sounds like you tend to have an affinity with spirits. It sounds like it. Because you were saying, I think last week or a few weeks ago, that a sifu, that a master found a lot of spirits hanging around underneath your table. So it sounds like it, but whatever it is, use your own faith and pray. Pray every day without fail. Yeah, and envelope yourself with the unconditional love, because whatever it is, spirits will calm down when they feel your unconditional love and compassion. They will calm down. So do that. So And it can come in a form of prayers, because prayers are it's a manifestation of compassion and unconditional love using sound. Yeah, that will calm them down. Okay, so I cannot verify that for you, Christina. So sorry about that. Karen, hi. I don't hold traffic with spirit entities. Okay. Martin, is it true if we do Buddhist meditation, it's easy to get possessed? That I was told by mediums. No. If you have if you have a strong affinity with spirits and you have tendencies to get possession, whether you meditate or not, you will be possessed. Because what do we do in meditation? Okay, see, we have my team of meditators are here. So what do we do, everyone? We sit either on a cushion, on the floor, or on a chair, and we just breathe. That's it. So what's so different? We're just breathing, but the only difference is we focus on our breath, and that's it. So if just by breathing you get possessed, then then you get possessed anywhere, anytime, any situation. Yeah, meditation is not something that you do that is hocus pocus, that you go into a different realm. It's not that kind of meditation. It's just breathing naturally and calming your body and your mind, and that's all we do. It's just training yourself to just calm down. That's it. There's nothing special about it. It's just that we're focusing on the breath. That's it. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, Martin. Elsie, thank you. JPOS, you're most welcome. Christina, what you said is so true. Experienced that more than 10 years ago. Now managed to overcome with meditation and Dharma talk. Sorry, I'm not Kechara member, but have been following Rinpoche Facebook. Oh, it's okay. You don't have to be a Kechara member. It's okay. Whatever faith works for you, it's fine. As long as the faith encourages us to be more kind, more compassionate, eventually more selfless, and that should be the faith. Yeah. So we can be kind and compassionate even to spirits because they are suffering. They are reborn in that, they reincarnate in that realm because of the strong attachments to whatever it is they were attached to in the human realm. And they're suffering and they cannot help it. And they cannot help it. That is why as Buddhists, we believe in karma, the law of cause and effect. It's not that we're bad people, it's just that, if we are so strongly attached to, let's say, our loved ones, most likely when we pass away, we want to come back because our mind is always with our family. Then you'll most likely be reincarnated as a spirit, and that's why you hang out in the same house. Right? I mean, how many times have we heard of our grandparents, or my grandmother, after she passed away, I would feel her presence, not just me, my entire family would feel her presence all the time because she used to hang out with us and she loved visiting us, and I know that she loves us. So, and I always feel her presence, always, and not just me. Even I have friends who are very sensitive to spirits, and we will usually hang out in the basement of my house, and they will say, "Hey," and there's no one in my house upstairs, and you will hear sounds, and this friend of mine says, I feel your grandmother is here. It's like, how do you know? It's like, I sense her. So I know I'm not hallucinating. So you see, that's what happens. That is what happens when we are so attached. So we come back. So out of compassion, we do prayers for them. So just because we don't know them doesn't mean that they don't deserve prayers. The more so, they deserve prayers. The more so, yeah. Martin Yo says, they told me it's easy to open up the door for the unseen when we are not careful during the meditation. That's not true. If you don't have the karma, you don't have the karma. There's nothing you can do. There's so many people here, you tell them, they say, oh, I want to see. And the spirit is right next to them. And they don't see it. So if you don't have the karma, there's nothing you can do to open it. You just don't. Hi, Lily Tan. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hi, Lily. Hi, Lily Beth. Hi, Ben. Zinkoi. Hi, Zinkoi. Can a person take trance whenever that person chanting mantra at a certain fast speed? On and off, I do experience. but I don't really know who the thing is. My voice changed to a lady voice. I even experienced it once at KFR. Well, then, if you take trance, you have to be careful, Zinkoi. You need professional help. Help in the sense that you need a qualified person, like a monk, to do the exorcism for you. There's no way we can do it ourselves. No way. It doesn't mean that because you chant, you take possession. It doesn't mean that. Okay? It means that it can enter you anytime, anywhere. Whatever that you do, it can enter you. So if that is true, then I would highly recommend you to a temple where you know that there are high monks there, to go there and seek for the advice. Yeah? So don't waste time on it, because the longer you wait and the longer they possess you, even if by that time the monk has helped you to remove that spirit, your brain would have been damaged by then. Yes, it is physically damaging to your brain. Yeah, so this is no joke. I would get help immediately. Okay? Corinne, what if the mantra chanting did not make the spirit go away? What should we do? Depends on what mantra you are doing, yeah? You can do the protective mantra if you are Buddhist. You can do Dorishudha mantra, Om Benza Wiki Bitana Soha. If that still doesn't work for whatever reason, you can do the raffle version, which is Chokse, okay, which our administrator here will write it out for you. Yeah, it's Om Benza Wiki Bitanar Rakya Home. That will work. That will definitely work. I've tried it before. Okay? Affinity with spirits, yes. I based on your explanation, you have the affinity with spirits, just like me. So when we get together, we're like honey to bees. Okay, so, but nothing to worry about. You can do your Christian prayers, I'll do my Buddhist prayers to bless them. And Christina says, do you agree that there are playful souls around that play tricks on you? Yes, definitely. There are spirits that are like children, and they like to play with you, and they like to take things, they can move things, and sometimes your things can go missing. Yes, they'll take things and hide it somewhere. Yes, that does help. That does happen. Things are there, but you just don't see. Christina says, things are there, but you just don't see, but it reappear again on the same. Yes, it does, on the same spot later on. Yes, you're right. Exactly what I said. Hi, John. Hi, Jonathan. Thank you for tuning in. So Rave says, to those who celebrate Vesak, have a blessed day, and thank you very much. Okay. Oh yeah, there's no paranormal next week. Yeah, because it's a Vesak day. Sorry about that. So we'll make it up the week after. Zinkoi, I do not want to, but I have been experiencing it since 2003. Well, definitely you need help, Zinkoi. It is no joke. Definitely you need help. Okay, so I'm not sure where you are, but go to a temple that has a pure monk there, and yeah, ask them for advice. Okay. Lily, is it true that there are what you call spirit guides? A person has a spirit that is always by his side or her side. Yes, that your spirit guides can be your grandparents, can be your parents who have passed away, it can be your children who have passed away, it can be your relatives. There can be spirit guides. But I would not communicate with them because they are in the spirit realm. They have all the intentions to help us, but I would not communicate, because when you communicate with one, you can communicate with all, because you're actually creating the karmic affinity with the spirit realm. So not only will your quote-unquote spirit guide come in, everybody else will come in. It's like you're opening up your front doors. It's like an open house. So anybody can come in. So I don't think we're equipped with the skills to protect ourselves. Okay, oops. I think that's about it, right? Zinkoi, I had 6 advice with few high-ranked monks and one Thai monk even said, "Let it be. I do not want it." Well, don't seek for the Thai monk. Go to, if you are in KL, if you're in Kuala Lumpur, go to the Mahavihara temple in Brickfields. Yeah, I've met them before. Chief is very kind. You can ask the chief monk there, Reverend, and he will be able to assist you. Okay? And I think that's about it. So, yes, and Waiting says maybe you would like to look for Pasegi and do a few puja to bless the thing. No waiting, because for spirit disturbances, we cannot do anything because it will aggravate the being and it may harm the person. So we don't. For spirit disturbance, for spirit possessions, we don't. That we will need to do. We will need to seek for divination. Okay, well, it's a bit difficult, especially now during the lockdown. So it's very difficult. So I would rather that he seek, if it's in Kuala Lumpur, to go to Mahavihara and seek advice from the holy monks there. Yeah? You're most welcome. I think it's time to wrap up. I hope you enjoyed the session for today. And feel free to leave comments. And again, feel free to, if you have friends who do like paranormal stories, please share with them. Again, next Thursday, there won't be any paranormal sharing. I'm very sorry. So we will continue the week after. Okay, and for those of you who do celebrate Vesak Day, do look out for our online Vesak Day special. We will bring Vesak to your home. So we will have live streaming of Dharma talks, both in English and Chinese. We will also have pastor blessings online. Yes, it can be done, and we can also do the Buddha bathing. And you can just make a donation online, and they'll be there live doing it for you. Okay, so do look out for details. Just go onto our website, Kechara.com, to find it. And if you want to make offerings, it's all there. You can do all online transactions, and there are people who stay in Kechara Forest Retreat who, because this is our home, we have nowhere else to go. So we will have people here to do the offerings for all of you. Okay, so take care and have a great night. Bye bye.